The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
What are you doing?
Let's fix some shit.
Sad thing is, would this really qualify as shit overall, or...
No, just shit is a general term.
There's a general expression.
Okay, just making sure.
Let's fix some shit.
Let's fix some shit. We're not calling the series that. You want to get demonetized?
I mean, worse things have happened. At least Hasbro's not coming after us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, welcome back to How We Would Fix
Give him
It.
a few weeks.
Welcome back to How We Would Fix It. We've had one episode of this so far, I believe.
Two.
Two?
Yeah, we've had a couple.
Okay.
We had Kiva, Samurai,
Did we do
Ghost
Samurai?
Sager, and now this.
I thought we did Samurai?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He and I did.
Yeah.
Fuck, why was I not there for that?
I think it was on the same weekend that we did the Fourze review.
You bastards.
Oh, but actually, speaking of Fourze,
It was way before that, but I think you were out of town. I think this is when you were in New York.
Oh, sad.
But speaking of Fourze,
Fourze!
let's fix that.
You got to see Be More Chill. Don't be so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
a
have
lot of fucking money.
quite a few things that we would like to fix for this show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, Jacob, you should start this one off.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And I brought this up in the review. It bears repeating here. It's structure. Every single episode, two-parters. It's very Victim of the Week heavy.
It's not as bad as Wizard.
Not as bad as other shows, I'll say, but still, it's pretty awful. Because this still results in that same problem we see in other shows where he's definitely powerful enough to beat this monster, but for some reason, he can't beat it, or it gets away for some stupid reason, or some dumb circumstance prevents him from winning. And you know this because as soon as that last one appears on the Switch, you know that every single monster is going to have to do that, and it just gets old so fast.
And that appears actually pretty early on in the show, like when they introduced that concept. So it's just like, great. We gotta wait for this. At least after a little bit, I will give this, even though it stagnates hard in the 30s. I mean, really hard. It starts to be the thing where one of the horoscopes will come in to stop him.
Yeah.
Because they need that last one to make more horoscopes.
Yeah.
But they can only go but so far beyond that. And it really hurts the structure of the show. And just, especially as you said in the review, and this is something I agreed on so heavily, you don't have to watch the first episode of the two-parter.
Nope.
Because
you can watch every other episode.
They recap it at the beginning of the next episode. So there's really no point in watching that first part more often than not.
Mm-hmm. So it makes you wonder why. Did they just not have as much material to work with, so they decided to make the show technically half as long?
A little bit of A, a little bit of Dino.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a very fucking good way to put it. Anyway.
Yeah. And
so the structure definitely needs some work. I would add to that a kind of a genre relook. Not so much of a comedy. It's trying so I'm not
trying so hard because that's what they were going for.
I was saying don't try so hard to be Deno. Like every time, but I'm not saying get rid of the comedy altogether. I'm just saying tone down some of these jokes a bit because to the point, like, as we'll talk about in a minute, one character is just trying to be funny the entire time and she just comes off as irritating as all God-given hell.
He actually has a very good point on that, and I do say in some of the cases that the horoscopes should be taken a lot more seriously than they are. Taurus especially, that whole golf thing was stupid. That was not well thought out. I don't know why they thought that was the way to go for this particular one. Especially when it's Taurus. You think that would be something much more strength-based, which could work if you're subverting expectation. But it didn't
You're not
work
subverting expectations. You're trying to make it look silly and claiming it's subversion of expectation, which just makes you look stupid.
Yeah, there is an explicit difference there. So it's just like, this is pointless. No. There's really no point in going this route for this particular one, which is associated with strength. That I hated that arc so much. I didn't talk about it in the review, but that one bothered me because of that.
But this makes a perfect segue into one of our other points. Who the fuck should we get rid of?
At least get rid of her toned down Yuki.
Yeah. Yuki needs... There was that one... what arc was it where she was actually decent?
The first bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and
later.
Gemini.
I wasn't a fan of the Gemini arc.
I was.
I know you were, but I didn't think it was creepy because I said this.
I thought it was an improvement.
I didn't because once again her performance is just constantly like so loud and just like flailing around.
But I'm just
there's never a moment in the show where it can just breathe.
I think that's an issue with the directing.
It's an issue with her performance too.
Well, I feel like she may have been told to give that performance. Or she gave that performance and the director didn't say, tone it the fuck down.
Actually, I think I'll agree with Matt more here, and this is sort of the reason why I like it. Because her doppelganger is basically still that performance, but much more sinister.
Yeah.
So it makes her creepier. Just like seeing her like that, but she enjoys other people's suffering.
I understand why you like it, but it didn't work for me.
It didn't work for me one way or the other. I just thought I preferred it over what we had been getting thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Yuki especially at the beginning of the show when she was like showing, Gentro how to use the belt and shit like that. I miss that.
When she was much more reserved.
Yes.
She's more reserved, but also I like how her connection to Gentaro at the beginning of the show. Because when he shows up and he's just like, I'm going to be friends with every single one of you. And she's the one who recognizes him and is like, oh yeah, you're going to like this guy. He's a cool guy.
He's cool peeps.
He is.
So I just... Yeah.
So I like that, but speaking of Yuki, that's going to lead into another point. Embrace space.
You say space is awesome every episode.
They say space. Here's the thing. There is that one shot in the opening theme song. There's like that one shot where they're running through a planetarium and they're like spinning around and they're looking at everything and everything looks so cool. I wanted more of that.
It's like when
there isn't really a lot of because Yuki she's a space otaku. That's what what's her name calls her.
Yeah, and yet how often are we really in space?
It's like we get to the moon. And nowhere really beyond that.
Miyu, that's her name.
Yeah. The moon is space, and that's
I think if we were taking that into account, one point I wanted to bring up that I thought of literally after we hit record is a change in the aesthetic of his costume.
I disagree.
Let me explain. Instead of it's a very slight change. Okay. It's more just from the neck up. Instead of a rocket cone head, I was thinking something more along the lines of like an astronaut's helmet.
I really like the rocket cone head.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Jake. The only reason I say that because I feel like if you're going to do like an astronaut's helmet, it's going to have to be super futuristic, not the more recent one where it's big.
No, I don't mean like Mysterio fishbowl.
That's what I was thinking when you said astronaut helmet.
I'm just something a little more reserved, but like from the neck down, I think he looks fine. I just think the cone head's a bit distracting for me.
It's their own.
Next one.
Also, let's get rid of the PlayStation logos on his appendages.
Well, they apparently mean something else.
I was making a joke.
I can't remember what
I was making a joke.
Fair enough.
Because it is literally just the PlayStation buttons.
It is, and I used to think that for a long time, but apparently it means something else as well.
I just think they're a bit distracting.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna save this one for last, but the next one is much more of a Jacob issue.
Well, while we're on the topic of aesthetic, why don't we talk about Magnet?
Yeah.
Let's
get Magnet out of the way. No,
it's awful.
It's that's one of the reasons why I want to get rid of the cone head because the cone head is made like so much worse with Magnet.
Yeah, in Magnet it's awful because it's like his whole torso, not just his head.
But I'm just if we got rid of the cone head, the aesthetic of Magnet could change into something better. Like, I know it's trying to be a tank, and I know this is random, and there was a old anime that I was really into as a kid, Zoids. You remember those?
Oh, Zoids! That's still going on.
Never watched the show, but I know the mechs.
There was the mech, the Liger, the main one, who had different outfits. One of which was the Jaeger form, which was his tank. It was heavy, it was bulky, it was green. It was green. It was giant cannons, but it didn't look stupid. So if we can but here, I'll actually pull up a picture for you.
Yeah, if we can make it so NS is much more sleek. I feel like if you're gonna have something like that, it should be faster.
Oh, it wasn't
solely just.
It wasn't Jaeger. It was Panzer.
Solely using like magnetic forces, like zip around everything. I feel like if you're gonna do something like that,
yeah, it was cool.
It would be just cool to have something, so you wouldn't have to stand so much in one spot.
Zoids is awesome.
I mean, it would definitely have to. You would have to work around that for how Ryusei would kill him to get into Cosmic, but at the same time, I feel like you could have just done it better.
And like all the other forms are okay. Fine. Like I especially love fucking the electric form. I think that one looks awesome.
That one was great.
With Billy the Rod.
The fire form is pretty cool, but I love fucking fusion.
Fusion is great.
That's a beautiful form. Jacob, this next problem is yours.
Change the theme song. God, I hate this song so much.
See, I can understand why.
I hate it.
It after 30 sometimes it will make your ear. Yeah.
For me, it was after the first.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like I didn't.
I'm gonna say it was during the first.
The first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, this is, and then after the 5th, I'm like, okay, this is irritating. And then after the 30th time, I'm like, please, fucking stop.
Like I definitely agree with him on most of it. I like the chorus. I feel like if everything around the chorus was instrumental, it wouldn't be nearly as bad. Because her voice,
didn't even like the chorus.
Each their own.
She gets that vocal fry in it for the verses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a bird.
Yeah.
That is not a vocal fry. A vocal fry is like that's the entire time.
Sorry, I was just remembering.
It's like when you're talking and you run out of breath at the end of a sentence and your voice just.
No, I just had a random thought. Or Gavin's ringtone.
Or if you're Kim Kardashian, because that's basically how all of them speak. Completely post-verbal. But it's just like if she would have had a better enunciation and just vocal control for the actual verses, it wouldn't have came off as so distracting and annoying so quickly.
I just thought the song was awful.
Okay. The next one is something that we definitely all agree on. Cosmic, and this is that problem that we had just with the form itself, where he loses a friend.
He loses the form.
Yeah.
We don't mind it being tied to friendship.
That's the basis of the show, after all.
What we mind is that it's so one and done. I think what it should do is the less friends he has, the less powerful he gets. And if he runs too low, that's when he can't use the form.
So, like, if he were to
lose.
What we're saying is if he were to, like, not be friends with anyone in the Kamen Rider Club and they were all to stop being friends with him, he wouldn't be able to use it.
But if one person isn't his friend, it's just less powerful.
It's just not as powerful.
Yeah. That one and
which would make so much more sense, because then if he becomes friends with the whole school, he's uber powerful god mode kind of deal.
Yeah, which is like that one part really just screwed up Cosmic as a form for us, because it should not be that black and white. It should be gray.
Because what happens what if he had made another friend before losing that one? Would he still have lost the form?
I was going to say, does that even count?
Does that negate?
Does that negate it?
+1, -1?
Net zero?
Pretty much. And the last thing that we have for this.
Don't bring Kengo back so quickly.
This is the W problem all over again.
Yeah.
Where his death is made, his origin is revealed. They make such a big deal about him dying and going away.
What was it? Where they read the letter? That whole scene where they read his letter.
And they're all in tears.
It's a good scene.
It's a great scene, yeah.
And then it's made completely moot.
It's not just that it's made moot, because I don't have a problem with them bringing him back. It's how they bring him back.
Immediately.
The next episode.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
At the end of the episode, they've beaten the bad guy and everything. They're waiting outside in front of the school. Happy music is playing, and then he just like walks into the frame. He's like, "Hey guys, what did I miss?
I was in a portal. I'm back now."
It's like how Robo Knight showed up in the legendary battle. It's exactly the same. He just shows up and he's like, "Hello, I'm sorry I missed things."
It's much, yeah. I mean, of course, there's going to be the obvious comparison to Philip coming back at the end of W.
Yeah.
However,
at least there was more of a reason for that.
Yeah, but however, in that case, there was an actual time gap
for the characters.
There was a time skip, yes,
for them and him coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't mind. We don't mind them resurrecting him. What we mind is how fast and how Deus Ex Machina
it happened like
this. Just make them work for it.
Thanos.
Yeah, make them work for it a little more. Death is not something you just snap away, unless you're Thanos.
Thanos is that.
Or in that case, you snap it into existence.
You'll Google Thanos, yeah.
No. Okay. I refuse to do anything regarding this movie until I go see it tomorrow.
I'm seeing it tonight. I'm seeing it this afternoon.
It's an Infinity War joke.
I know.
Okay.
But we're all doing it within the next day to go see Endgame. If you have seen Endgame and we see any goddamn spoilers in this comment section, I will be deleting them. So...
And blocking you.
Not cool. Don't do that.
No. Thanos demands your silence.
Yes. So do I.
For you. Anyway, that's basically how we will fix Fourze.
There's not a lot to fix, but the things that needed fixing really needed fixing.
Pretty glaring.
Yeah, really needed fixing.
There's one minor thing that I would like to bring up, and that's, did we really need 40 switches? I know it's the 40th anniversary of the franchise, and you wanted to try that 40 motif.
I feel like it's literally the only reason there was that many switches.
But there's so many of them, and so many of them he only uses once.
And this is especially true with Cosmic States, because that was the time that he could have just used all of them in any combination.
Yeah. And then
they don't do enough with it in show, which could be just production money.
It could be budgetary reasons. Yeah,
but I feel like if you're gonna have something like that, it has to go big. That's the main thing. It's just like, you have this ability to combine things together. Use them all, like you could in Fable 3.
A lot of them seem completely useless until he finds the one monster that for some reason he can't beat until he masters this one.
The ink brush.
Yeah, the ink brush was what I was thinking.
Which is cool. I like the ink brush.
It's not a bad concept. It's just
not utilized well.
No.
But yeah. That's basically it for this.
I'll do it.
You got any other?
More space. Like Jacob said, that's all I can really think of. Yeah, more.
Kimaras.
Like, go to other planets or something. Take a book out of Q Ranger.
Take a book out of In Space.
Ouch, yeah. America did it right. Fuck.
They legitimately went to other planets. That was like the whole thing.
Were they all populated by humans? Yes, but that's not the fucking point.
But yeah, let us know what you think about how Fourze could be fixed in the comments below. And we gotta decide what we're gonna do next time for this.
Wizard.
That is actually
that's a good one.
That was actually what I was thinking.
Do I need to get out of your head?
We're reviewing it soon, so
yeah, we are.
It'll be perfect timing.
That'll be the video that we do along with that beyond the movie.
Yep. Well, there you go. And as always, follow us on all the things. Subscribe, ring the bell, blah blah blah.
Ring my
bells. Bye, everybody.
Subscribe. Bye.
Bye.